What's going on, y'all, and welcome back to another Epic 7 video. Today we have the last piece Karin preview. This was announced yesterday that they had a slight delay on it, but it's finally here, so let's go ahead and check it out together.
Achieving absolute mastery with the blade.
Straight into it, guys.
That is my one and only goal in life.
Okay, she sounds good.
You should
Looks
be proud
great,
of
we all knew that.
yourself. If you make it out
We
of
got the
there alive.
Bankai Skill 3 animation.
My mission is my top priority. For now.
That pose, though.
Ever since she was young, Karin has always admired Celine.
Karin? Guys, let me know at home. I've always been saying Karin. I think most people in the community have been saying Karin, but apparently it's pronounced Karin, and I've had some comments say, you know, the pronunciation. I want to work better on pronunciation, so let's go with Smilegate's way right now and say Karin, but let me know how you guys have been saying it. All right, sorry, let's continue. A little
She
concept
was
art
her
right there.
aunt and the greatest living wielder of a sword. However, Celine goes missing after her defeat to an unknown entity, and her sword is passed
Twisted
down
Idol
to
on
Karin.
Karin, guys.
Determined to find the unknown being, Karin heads to Terranor.
All
Due
right.
to her deep-seated mistrust of machines, she has refused to modify any part of her body with technology.
And they show Crow there getting
focuses
modified.
on honing her skills organically. Over time, her abilities surpass what any normal human should be capable of.
Cool
But
backstory.
she has yet to locate the one responsible.
Guys, another just really fast pause. If you haven't already watched the balance patch preview, I'm going to record my thoughts on it. I have a lot to say after this. Rest in peace, Karin, though. I'm very, very surprised and kind of disappointed.
For Celine's downfall. That is, until the Central Division offers Karin a position in Team 1.
Okay, with
in
OPSIG
exchange
and
for the
LRK.
information she seeks.
Last Rider Crown. All right, let's take it from here
Last piece.
and check it out together. So we already knew she was a light thief Ares. She's a 4-star, guys. So those of you that are free to play, be careful pitting 4 stars. Just some quick PSAs. If you really like her, obviously go ham. Good luck, best of luck on, you know, hitting that 80 pity. But I would recommend, if you can, if you have been or haven't, start stockpiling, you know, Galaxy bookmarks, any that you might grab. Gold Transmit, same thing, and rip those first, as 4 stars are way more common. Remember, we have that every 20 you get a 4 to 5 star. You'll get a lot of 4 stars here and there, and maybe you'll get lucky enough to pull her. You can save those misses, because spending up to 80 summons for a 4 star compared to 120 for a 5 star as a free to play is not the best value. Just a heads up. But let's go ahead and scroll through here, guys. So she has imprint concentration, crit chance, self imprint, which I think a lot of us are tired of seeing. But like I just said, Karin is a 4 star. So much more accessible to get, like blue Karins that you might have lying around, or Bloodblade Karins as well. I almost said Karin, to imprint too. So a little bit more manageable. And with Ares, look at this, guys. It's 126 base speed. She could be a speed monster. All right, so let's go ahead and check out her skills here. Skill 3, this is the Byakuya, the Bleach style S3 animation. Blade Art, Infinite Sword. Very cool, very edgy name. Becomes one with the sword dispelling 2 debuffs from the caster. Okay, so we get a self-dispel. Self-attack up, and we get Phantom Sword, which, when attacking, if the target is hero, damage sharing effects are ignored. Okay, so we ignore Escort, we ignore Aureus, and anything like Pirate Captain Flant or Seaside Bologna. So to the caster for 3 turns, so Phantom Sword for 3 turns, and attack up for 3 turns, right? Very nice. Grants an extra turn as well. Hello, Benny Maru. When defeating an enemy while granted Phantom Sword changes into Neo Phantom Sword. My goodness, we're just changing buffs, getting extra turns, getting ourselves like insane amounts of just so much animation, and increases skill cooldowns of the caster by 1 turn. Okay, so when we get a kill, we lead from Phantom Sword into Neo Phantom Sword, which says now we grant ourselves damage dealt proportional to the target's max health. Okay, so max health target or max health damage scaling. But it also gets dispelled after attacking, this last line here. And we'll also get skill cooldowns decreased by 1 turn. 5 turn cooldown after skill enhancement. All right. Very cool. Let's go ahead and let it play out here again, because I got to see this animation again, dude. It's so sick.
It is a hero. Damage sharing effects are ignored, unaffected by any effects related to buffs. When defeating an enemy while granted Phantom Sword changes into Neo Phantom Sword.
Neo Phantom
decreases
Sword.
skill-
So we see it right there. So it goes from 3 turns into 1 turn, because we do kill the Auden. And then I don't know if they're going to show attacking, but it says dispels after getting it after attacking once, right? But the 3 turns on attack up, the initial initial Phantom Sword, excuse me, let me lingo on point. Let me get my lingo on point, and then 3 turns of stealth and barrier, it looks like, which I'm assuming we're going to see right now. So let's go ahead and scroll through here, guys. Phantom Strike acquires 2 souls, cooldown 4 turns, no skill enhancements to reduce that. Attacks the enemy before granting stealth and a barrier to the caster for 3 turns. Very nice. Guess we don't need Wind Rider necessarily. Can opt for different artifacts if you want. Hit chance is increased by 50% when using this skill. So we can, you know, stack on like Symbol of Unity to make sure we just cut off all evasion units that are like sitting at 70% dodge. Damage dealt increases proportional to the caster's speed. 126 base speed, guys, is going to be very nice. And then barrier strength increases proportional to the caster's attack. Okay, so 3-turn barrier and stealth is very good. Like I said, we can have variety on artifact choices. And the barrier is also going to be very nice if it scales off attack too. We'll see how strong that is, but it could lead into some very, very, you know, long stealth duration period. So very, very cool. And remember, guys, she gets a minus cooldown if she lands a kill, right, with the Phantom Sword. And so we turn this into 3-turn cooldown. When a 3-turn cast, we can have this a very, very high uptime on her buff. So very, very cool abilities. Let's go and check out the animation. I'm assuming it just looks like Blue Karin's. She's just going to dash forward, right?
Proportional to the caster's speed. And
yeah, does a little teleport. Oh, they're actually using Wind Rider, which is interesting. I would assume you want to make sure you don't lose the 20% if she dodges. And since we get the stealth, and I mean, Wind Rider is one of the best thief artifacts, don't get me wrong. But since we get stealth already from the skill 2, I would rather take something like Symbol, right, to guarantee we hit 70% on the hit chance. Unless I'm missing something, why they would use Wind Rider here. But yeah, Wind Rider is great. You get more damage after that. But I think personally, if you're going for, we want to hit these evasion units, so I think like Symbol. Okay. Anyways, not too big of a deal here. That was the animation. Next up, guys, is Vacuum Striker skill 1. Interesting name. Swings the sword to attack the enemy, increases combat readiness of the caster by 10%, and it looks like 15% after skill enhancement. Damage dealt, it has speed scaling as well. So very basic. You can soul burn it for 10 souls for extra damage too. All right. So very straightforward kit overall, besides the kind of weird Phantom Sword and the Neo Phantom Sword and then the skill cooldown reduction. But once you get past that, yeah, she has a very straightforward kit. We want to bring her against evasion units typically, like Auden, Remnant Violet, and then we just go to town with her very high base speed and speed scaling damage, right? And then we have the long stealth and barriers too to protect us. And then we have the Phantom Sword here, Neo Phantom Sword, excuse me, when you see this one turn. Let's see here, guys, the soul burn damage. So our buffs, we're going to show the soul burn damage here. We have Vigor up, Attack up, and the Neo Phantom Sword damage, which, remember, scales off max health, correct? Yeah.
Consumed. Increases damage.
So we hit the Ravi with a soul burn, 24, almost, was that almost 25k? That's with Vigor, that's with Attack up, that's with the Neo Phantom Sword. So pretty good damage. But, of course, remember, don't take too much stock into these showcase or these examples. We'll have to wait to see, because we don't know what gear they're rocking and what artifacts are all in play. We need to see what the multipliers are and our own gear on her, etc., etc. But okay, looks pretty respectable, and she has a lot of buffs, right? So as long as you don't fight anything with a lot of reach, and even then, the barrier looks pretty thick, so we are protected a little bit in that stealth from the barrier. I guess as long as we don't get stripped from something AOE. She can kind of just hide in stealth and be protected and do a ton of damage. Lead back into the Phantom Sword, Neo Phantom Sword. Ignore damage share. Ignore this 30% Aureus, or excuse me, 30% Escort damage share mitigation. Very, very cool. Is that it? Okay, let's see the animation, lobby animation real fast, and then we'll just talk shop for a little bit here.
Reachable goal. Players will
playing with her hair, messing with the braids.
Through the mystic
okay, looks pretty good. She obviously looks great, right, guys? We knew that from the get-go that Karin was always looked great. She looks even better now in the light form here, idle animation. All right, I'm gonna let this play while muted, and let's just talk real fast. So my overall thoughts, I'm obviously not a speed player, but for players that like to play this fast, aggressive style, I guess it's like you can compare her similar to units like Sid, Zahak, maybe even Kisei. All of those kind of units sort of are in the same sort of category, but herself is anti-evasion, ignore damage share effects into the one unit. So being a 4-star and being more accessible, if you guys are having trouble with evasion units, I think that's going to be amazing for Arena Guild Wars. Obviously, when you just get to pick her into evasion units like that right there, where she locks the Phantom Sword and Neo Phantom Sword, it's going to feel great. Hides yourself in stealth, and then your opponent can't really do too much, right? She's going to protect herself and then just do some insane damage here. Let's see this damage. 15k off that duel. Pretty good. And then she'll eventually be back into skill 3, skill 2, right? So my overall thoughts is I think we have a lot of other units, like I mentioned, like Sid Zahak, maybe Kisei, that kind of fulfill similar roles, but her unique, she brings a few unique tools all together in one that I think will definitely make players want to run her. For RTA, though, I think you're going to have to pick her a little bit more carefully. Obviously, we want to make sure we probably bring her against like Audens, like Remnant Violets, like I said before. But when she does work, I think she's going to feel great as long as the multipliers are on point. So Pretty basic kit. I don't want to say basic. That sounds kind of bad. I mean, like, pretty straightforward kit. I think a lot of players are going to like her. Good luck on your summons, and remember to rip those galaxy bookmarks and gold transmits first. That way you don't have to spend mystics just in case. If y'all hit pity, that's going to feel pretty bad. But looks good. Fast players, I'm sure you guys are going to like her. Speed scaling unit. 126 base speed. What's not to like, right? Alrighty, y'all. Make sure y'all check out the balance patch preview. I'm going to go over that. That's where I'm going to talk a lot. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace out, guys.